What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steven's Nerd Corner. I'm back at you with another video talking about the main man himself, Wolverine. You saw the thumbnail. We're talking Wolverine's Revenge. I got the red band. If y'all keep up with the shorts, I got it at Comic-Con. I got the whole 5-pack, all red bands, cover A's for like $30. But pretty much, I guess it's a deal. It's everything cover price. There was a $5.99 a comic, so right, everything cover price. So I just want to get straight into it. Red band book, Greg Capullo on art, Johnathan Hickman on writing. Let's get into it. All right, so just getting straight into it. I don't know how do you say this. We'll get the transparency stuff. I don't even know. My English isn't good, I guess. But I guess the biases. We'll get the biases out of the way. Oh my goodness. So yeah. I'm a Capullo stan. No shame about it. I think Greg Capullo, probably modern. Not even, forget about modern. He's my favorite artist. I think all time. I think his work, his style. I love it. His detail. I think everything is just great to me. I think and his style is just perfect to me. For my opinion, like the stuff I like it's just right up my alley, So all his stuff. I read all his Batman, with Scott Snyder. I'm reading Spawn right now, and I've read his first 3 or 4 issues on Spawn that he drew. He did like a little arc with Grant Morrison, which was awesome. So Capullo I love. Writing, Hickman is another one I love. Not so much as Capullo. He's not like my favorite writer of all time or anything, but he's definitely up there. Everything he's written, I think I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's been a great time. So Hickman I love. So honestly, low-key a dream team, not gonna lie. So when I heard the team, I was like, all right, bet. The only reason I didn't get it, I don't know, I just didn't get it when it first dropped. But I got this pack or whatever. So but going into it, I already like the team, so I'm hyped. Wolverine red band. Let's hop straight into it. First issue is dope. We got Wolverine running around the jungle, and it's just Capullo just being lit. Wolverine fights this, I guess, T-Rex type dinosaur, right? Runs through him. His intestines spill out. Wolverine's covered in like his guts and stuff. It's just awesome opening sequence, man. I loved it. It's just Capullo just chilling. Hickman knew Capullo's on lead here. Even when this was getting hyped up, Capullo's name was the one you saw more than everyone else's. It was just Capullo. Because they knew, he was the draw here. So Hickman knew that, I think, as well. So he lets him do his thing. That opening sequence was just awesome. Capullo's Wolverine, man, it really is it's amazing. There's so much Batman in there, I think. But at the same time, so much of the Wolverine uniqueness that you don't get from Batman. And it's just right up Capullo's alley, especially with the action. And then now with it being red band, he can go crazy with it. He just have fun. And that's so you could really see it. Capullo just having the time of his life. I think, he probably hated it. I don't know. But it feels like he was having so much fun writing, drawing this. That's one thing I'll say, guys. If you're not a Capullo guy or girl or whatever, I understand maybe you don't have a lot of hype. If you don't like Capullo, I can't recommend this book to you. I cannot recommend this book to you at all. If you don't like Capullo, there's no point. I wouldn't get it. Because while Hickman is a great writer, I don't think this is his best work. I don't think it's bad work. I'm not saying it's bad, but he definitely has better work. But but I was so excited for Capullo. The Capullo art it was just such a treat to, look at it and everything. I can't stress that enough for me personally. So now we kind of get that out of the way. Spoilers ahead. So now we're gonna really deep dive into it, and I'm gonna spoil the hell out of it. I'm not gonna tell you every single little detail, but we're gonna hit the big ones, the major plot points. So spoilers ahead if you're not gonna read it. I recommend it if you like Capullo, or if you're interested in Capullo, check it out. If you like Hickman, check it out. If you like both of them, definitely check it out. If you like Wolverine, check it out. But if you don't like Capullo, you don't like anything associated with this, don't check it out. But yeah, that's it. So let's get into the story. So yeah, getting right back into the story. Like I said, Wolvie's in the jungle. Nick Fury finds him. He's like, hey, we got a problem. He's like, oh, what are you bothering me? I'm on vacation. He's in the Savage Land. He's lit. And he's like, hey, we got a big problem. Magneto's dead. When he died, he basically gave out an EMP and you damn near wiped out the United States. Half the west of the planet is wiped out because of this EMP. They've got nothing, so we've got to go on this mission to basically restore whatever is left of somewhat of the United States. I think they got partially nuked as well. It's like crazy, right? Wolverine's like, damn, but he's like, damn, but I'm Canadian. You know what I'm saying? That's really not a big deal. Nah, but then Nick Fury is like, dude, this is like an everyone problem. This is not just an American problem. This is like North America problem. So he's like, yeah, you know what? All right, I'll do it. He's like, all right, we got some guys. So we get this. Actually, what could have been a whole different book would have been crazy too. It's honestly a cool little team up. Captain America, Wolverine, Winter Soldier. I think there's a couple other guys with him, but let's be honest, they're fodder characters. So, they're all talking. They got this plan. We're going to infiltrate this base. It's the Dark Brotherhood or something like that. They're all like, all right, but something happens. They're like, oh, we're on the last helicarrier because everything else is destroyed but the EMP. And then something happens. There's like a suicide bomber on there. They all got to dive out. Boom, boom. Half the team, I think, like died. And, all the fodder guys. So we got the original three, Cap, Wolvie, Winter Soldier, and Nick Fury's there as well. But I think, right, or he might have got blown up, right? So they all land like, all right, you know the deal. We gotta go in. We're pretty close to the base anyway. We're going to the mission. They all get snuck up on, ambushed, and it's the villain lineup I love. Not gonna lie, for Wolverine's Revenge, I think it's probably the best lineup. We got Colossus, which he's kind of a new throw-in, but I thought it was fun, throwing him in there. But we get his main three: Omega Red, Sabretooth, and Deadpool, which I would say so, because early Deadpool was really a problem for him, and then now they just kind of get into some friendly scuffles nowadays. But they really kind of used to be beefing, I think, back in the 90s and stuff. So that was really interesting to see. I'm trying to think right now. It's the only reason why I'm stumbling a little, because who else would you put in that lineup? I'm trying to think. I think that I think that's a great lineup, because with Deadpool, you pulling a lot of people with that, and it makes sense. Again, Colossus is a fun throw, and Sabretooth and Omega Red, honestly, are must-haves. So I'm trying to think, who else from his rogues. There's some other characters, but people that are like characters that are known, because it makes sense. This is a Capullo, book. You want this to appeal to the mainstream comic audience, and it makes sense for me, because I'm trying to think. Like, I'm a Wolverine fan, but I really don't know. I mean, Silver Samurai, maybe that would have been kind of cool, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. What's that one guy, Cyber, right? Is that one of them? But I'm just, I don't know, man. I think this lineup is good. So yeah, they basically sneak up on everybody, knock them all out. They wake up, they're chained up. They're like, what the hell's going on? We got this team up. That's when Colossus, I think, reveals himself. He's like, oh, comrade, you know how Colossus talks. So he's there. They're all talking like, we got you. It's part of the plan. I don't know. It's this evil plot. We got you guys. Basically, I kind of lost why their reasoning was, but they're crazy because it's not really. I mean, it's important, but I mean, with Nick Fury already kind of like said, half the United States is wiped out, so then we're already kind of like took the big hit. You know what I'm saying? So he goes and Wolverine is like, oh, I saw what happened to us. They put bombs in our chests, like all of us. And they're like, what the hell? But they're like, oh, if you run, you might be able to beat the distance on his detonator. Deadpool has a detonator. They all kind of break out and chain out. And I think he just blows up Cap and Winter Soldier right there on the spot. I don't even think they get far. And Wolverine is like, well, you think I'm gonna let you blow me up? And he's trying to like cut the bomb out before they blow him up. They kind of just blow him up pretty much. So, but now, they all kind of just running away. So Wolverine is slowly healing because, when it's big stuff like that, he's a little slower. So he's healing, and it's just, man, like, you kind of see the rage building up, but it's Capullo just drawing it, the way he heals. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful, man. Beautiful stuff. Like, it ended off the issue so perfectly. The hype for issue 2 is through the roof. And man, it's just Capullo flexing his muscles, man. It looked great. Like, just, you gotta read it, man. It's just, if not the whole series, at least issue 1. That issue 1, man, wow. Ends off with such an amazing splash, right? I think it's a splash page. It might be a double page. But man, it's just a great image. A great image, man. You gotta check it out. Alright, so on to the second issue. It's time for Wolverine to get his revenge. Nick Fury finds him. Oh my god. Yeah, so he finds him and he's like, Wolverine's like, what? And he's like, use a human decoy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The Marvel one. I'm drawing a blank right now. And he's like, why didn't I think so? I should have known. You're Nick Fury. Why would you actually show up? Nick's like, come on, man. So he kind of goes back and forth, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go kill everyone. Everything's gone anyway. We failed the mission. So whatever was left of America basically got destroyed. So now it's basically kind of post-apocalypse type of thing, but not really. So, he's like, yeah, I'm just go get my revenge pretty much. And we get this really dope, I think it's a splash page, it might be a double pager, of like all the dead heroes, I guess. And I guess, American heroes. And it's like, with the US flag over the caskets. I think Cap and Winter Soldier are there. And just, again, another dope image from Capullo, man. It just looked dope. Man. I'm like, wow. So he killed it again. And then cuts straight to Wolverine getting his revenge. I think he gets his Magneto's helmet at some point. I forgot why and for who. My bad. I'm just drawing a blank on it. Go. That means you guys gotta go and read it. Find out. That's the part I'll leave out. But he goes and he runs down, and it's crazy. I'm thinking he's gonna save Sabretooth for last. I think that's the first guy he runs into. He's Sabretooth. That's the first person he runs down to. So he goes, but he has some equipment on him. They basically get into a little scuffle. Wolverine jabs him with something. Depowers him permanently, pretty much on the spot. I was like, oh my god, what? He's like, yeah, I had him cook this up for me. I was like, whoa, that's wild. Okay, he just depowered him permanently. We don't see him killing blow, just cuts to black. So, So next guy he runs, but he got a little scuffed up, and it's funny, he's wearing his Wolverine costume the whole time. He never changes, the same one. So he's running down on Omega Red. He's a little scuffed up from the Sabretooth fight. He got some claw marks on the suit. But, obviously he's healed. Finds him. They get into a fight. That fight is dope. That was a dope fight, man. Omega Red versus Wolverine might be the best one. It's up there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. A lot of good fights. And again, it's just, if you like Capullo, or in my case, a Capullo stan, this was perfect. Because Hickman just gave Capullo an excuse to go crazy, and he did. Capullo went crazy, and the story was dope. It was just fun. What if? So, let's talk about that right now. That is a fair point. If you didn't like the story because it turned into a what if, and you thought it was going to be a mainline 616 the whole way, because obviously towards the end of issue 1 or the beginning of 2, this is basically a different universe. This is not 616. So, I get if that upset you, but at the same time, I thought, I'm here for the team. We're getting a Wolverine book from Hickman and Capullo. It doesn't matter if they were doing this or Old Man Logan or whatever, Weapon X. It doesn't matter to me. We're getting them basically doing Wolverine, and what context or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter to me as long as the book is fun and it's dope. But it's just a good book, and that's what I got. But if that's not what you like and you're upset, that's a fair point. I get that point as well, though. Sometimes that's fair to say, because from certain books, yeah, I want this to be a mainline book, and it's not. I'm kind of out then. I get it. Maybe these creators aren't that big of a draw for you, and you need it to be mainline. Totally understandable. That perspective, totally understand. But yeah. So that aside, we go straight into it. Right, he already took out 2 guys, fast as hell. So we got another 2, right? We got a Deadpool and Colossus. I hope I'm not leaving out a villain. Nah, I think we're good. So we just cut. He goes straight. He runs into Deadpool, and he's like on the top of like this mutant reactor. Something's going on there, and they kind of get into a little scuffle, and then Wolverine is just talking. They just start talking because he's the merc with a mouth. So, well, of course we should have known. Like, this issue 3 is probably my favorite issue of the whole mini. Maybe 3 or maybe 5. I thought 5, the ending was really good. But so he's basically talking to Deadpool, and then he's like, sometimes I just get a little. He basically breaks it down, this emotional thing to him, and Deadpool's like, man, I feel the same way. Does this mean we could team up? He's like, yeah, man, you could come with me. And we'll take down Colossus together. He's like, yeah, for real. He's like, nah. He just pushes him into this endless. He's never gonna get out of this. It's like some gamma reactor, and I think it hurts Deadpool a little bit. It was something wild. So he's like, yeah. So they have this whole conversation, talk no jutsu style, just for Wolverine to be like, yeah, nah. Like, yo, I loved it. Hickman's Wolverine, just, I don't know, something about it. When you got a guy like Hickman who just knows the character so well, like, just having them talk really hits when they do the character well, when they know the character. Like his Deadpool, he knows Deadpool and he knows Wolverine, so that just watching that conversation, reading that conversation was just like, wow. I really love that part, you know what I'm saying? So these are just things, I don't know, like, they just really hit for me. So again, I love that. Then he goes right into running into Colossus. We're only on issue 3. So, I thought that was crazy. I'm like, damn, he's really running through these guys. What are we gonna do with the next 2? So he runs into Colossus, and he sees him outside, and he takes the top half of his costume, and he digs a grave, I think, for Colossus. And he's like, oh, who's in the house? Colossus is like, yo, don't worry about it, man. You sure, like, this is really what you want to do? Like, this is the route you want to take? He's like, yeah, bub, you know Wolverine. He's like, yeah, I'm of course, that's what I do. They get into a fight, man. Again, Capullo, he's having the time of his life. It looks like it's just a dope fight. Wolverine, Colossus, he gets a cut in, and then Colossus is breaking him up, beating him up like he's smoked. Like, oh my god, it's such a good back and forth. Then Wolverine smokes him at the end. Oh my goodness, that last panel, amazing. I mean, it's just the red band, like, it's there for a reason. Capullo uses it, which I love. Every issue, he uses it every issue, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome, and man, so much fun. And it ends off. He's got his revenge, and he just leaves off. That's the end of the issue 3, and I'm thinking, damn, that could have been the mini right there, But I'm glad we got 2 more. We got 2 more issues of Capullo and Hickman. Well, I ain't complaining about that. Issue 4, we get a time skip, and that's another divisive thing. So let's talk about that. I know a lot of people kind of lost it after the time skip. That's another. It's kind of fair, but not really, because if you stuck with it after the what if, once they confirm this is basically a different universe, I don't see how time skip is gonna bother you. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of perspective of not disliking it, if you're already stuck around post different universe, I don't understand it. Me personally, just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. I'm not hating on nothing. It's your opinion. Do what you want to do. I have my opinion. Don't hate on me. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. But the time skip, I didn't mind. I was like, okay, we're going deep with it. Like, this is fun. And honestly, I think these 2 issues really made it the whole limited series or mini series really worth it. I was like, it really did something fun with it. It's just not a basic revenge story. We get like a full kind of saga. So yeah, getting straight back into it, we cut back 20 years in the future, and Wolverine, he's kind of got an old man Logan thing kind of going on. He's got a new suit. I think it's like black, red, and yellow. I thought it was cool. It's different, but it kind of, old school. It was just fun. Capullo wanted an excuse to make a Wolverine outfit. I ain't mad. I mean, hopefully it's in the new game. So we got this old man Logan kind of running around. We see what happened with Sabretooth because he's the only confirmed kill we don't see. And Logan still got him alive. He's got him in the Xavier, like the old chair from, I think, X-Men 92. That kind of thing. So he's floating around in that because he has no legs. So Wolverine, basically, part of his revenge is that he goes to see Sabretooth every year on his birthday now and cuts a piece of him off, and, he can't heal anymore. So, because Wolverine permanently depowered him. So it's part of his revenge, and he keeps doing it and doing it. We don't see it. They say it. So, But then come to find out, Sabretooth is now plotting his revenge. There's a lot of revenge. There's even more. Sabretooth is plotting his revenge against Logan now with the remnants of the people Wolverine killed getting his revenge. So we got like a clone and a half of Omega Red. Then we have Colossus's son. Or Colossus's, right? Oh my goodness. Colossus' son, right? His son was in the house when so he saw his dad get killed pretty much by Wolverine, when he was like, yo, who's in the house? He pulled up, and also with Colossus' son, he's got Magic Sword, his aunt, which I thought was lit. I was like, nah, that's a dope twist, because his son, all right, that's not crazy. Oh, but now he's got the sword. All right, now we're talking. All right, we got an Omega Red, we got a full-on clone, I think like half a clone. And then he's got like one goon with him. Like I forgot who he was. He was honestly just a goon to me. But so that, they're all plotting, and then basically we go through the issue setting that up. And it was just cool seeing it, it kind of ended it off. And it was like, oh man. So issue 5, that's it, man. They get into it. Issue 5, Wolverine gets into it with the main goons, the main 3. The one goon and then the Omega Red clone and a half. There's 2 guys. Smokes them. They're nothing. I think he sees some little camera thing and he realizes what's happening. And he's like, Creed, right? He's like, oh, I know it's Sabretooth. He runs down on him. Pulls up. Oh, Sabretooth is outside in his little floater, the walker, Xavier's old chair. And Colossus, I forgot his name, man. His son is there, and he's just posted up with him. He's hitting the stance, That's always dope. And he's like, that's it, kid, throw me. Kid throws him, and Wolverine basically splits him in half. And that's it. He's done. He's like, I should have did this a long time ago. Split Sabretooth in half. That's awesome. So that's it. Now we're back to another 1v1, 20 years in the future. Sins of the father type of thing, I guess, right? I don't even know if that's the right wording. And we got Colossus' son versus Wolverine. They're getting into it. Dope scuffle. But then his son is like, all right, check this out. Let's see what you could do in Limbo. Cuts open a portal Limbo. Now they're fighting in Limbo. Oh, man, that fight is awesome. And Wolverine basically, they're getting into it. It's kind of close, but Wolverine basically gets him. And he has him kind of like this. But then he kind of, while fighting, he sees Colossus, and he's like, man, what happened to us? And he's like, I don't know, Then he kind of the kid hits him off and he kind of just lets him get the kill. And he like takes the sword and drives it into his face. And I don't remember if he leaves it there or not. I think he leaves it there. He might not. He might have took it. He thinks he's got the kill, and he's like, I gotta let the kid have this, so he can have this peace. He's not going on his whole life like I did, stringing Sabretooth around, wasting away and all this, and Wolverine's immortal. So yeah, the kid takes the sword, he leaves, he goes on with his life. Wolverine heals, he wakes up, and he's like, you know what? And this is why I liked it, because the ending is just him. He's going around fighting mad demons, and then he goes and he takes over Limbo pretty much. So the ending of this story is basically Wolverine becoming the king of Limbo. and going on to do who knows what else. He's probably gonna go on to hell, take mad shit over. Who knows? I thought it was a fun story with a fun ending. Who knew that the artist was the most important part of this story, and they let him run and thrive and do what he does best. So for me, this miniseries was great. I loved it. I thought it was peak. Um, but if you had your issues, that's why I kind of brought up some of the uh controversial stuff that happened with it. Not even talking about the delays, and if that's the reason you fell out, again, 100% understandable. I don't like delays neither. So if I got a big delay on my book, I'm liable to drop it. I get it, 100% get it. But like I said, I got this in a pack in the red band. The trade, I don't think it's red band, so that's why I really wasn't messing with the trade. So I was happy to see they had a whole pack of this stuff in red band there. I think if you do read this, try to get a red band. If there's any way, do a red band. If you're not reading a red band, you're doing yourself a disservice. So find a red band. But man, just amazing story. My Capullo stands, you need this. Hickman fans, you probably need this. But man, great story. I really loved it. Just so much fun. It was just, man, they don't make them like that, man. They don't make them like that anymore. It's just a fun ride. So comics need to be an escape, man, and that's what this was. It was so much fun. Just get away. 5 issues, just fun. I want to reread it. I probably will reread it pretty soon. But man, just a fun story. 2 goats, pretty much cooking up with another goated character. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a great story. If you haven't read it, go read it. Wolverine's Revenge. Like I said, find the red band. Go read it. Dope story. That's probably gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. Appreciate you for watching, tuning in as always, and yeah, peace.